Hey, what's up everyone? In this video we're comparing the Hoka One One Clifton 7 against the Saucony Endorphin Shift. Hey, what's up everyone, and welcome back to Fordy Runs. Now, if this is your first time at Fordy Runs, I want you to smash that pink button down there that says subscribe on it. Go to our Facebook page and join the Fordy Runs running community, and check out the description. There are loads of cool things, including links to where you can get both of these awesome shoes. So, high stack, high miler, daily training shoes. Let's get stuck in. Right guys, so here we go. We've got the Clifton 7 and the Endorphin Shift. Now, before we get into which one I prefer, let's get into some of the stats and some of the features. Where should we start? Should we start with the Clifton 7? Why not? So this shoe, from memory, is about £125. The shoe has a 5mm drop. It's got 29mm stack height in the heel and 24 in the front. It weighs 8.71 ounces. You've got this open engineered mesh upper. You've got a flared heel collar, which helps against any rubbing or chafing. You've got the meta rocker in there. It's a Hoka, so what you'd expect. You've got a moderate heel bevel, which provides a nice smooth heel to toe transition. What else have they shoved on this shoe? Oh, on the outsole, it's quite interesting. They've got these sort of strategic high abrasion rubber zones to reduce the weight and help durability. Then we've got the Endorphin Shift, which looks massive still in hand. It just looks huge, this shoe. Anyway, this shoe is 130 pounds, 35 pounds, I can't remember which it is. It's 10.4 ounces, so it's a lot heavier. The shoe has a stack height of 38mm in the heel, 34 in the front. It's got a 4mm drop. You've got this denser EVA TPU Power Run midsole versus some of the other shoes in the Endorphin lineup. You've got the Speed Roll Tech, and you've got this very awesome engineered mesh upper. Right, so where do you start? Well, I think to start off with, it's the lightness of the Hoka Clifton 7 which makes it more appealing to me. The difference is quite noticeable when you are running in them, especially at the start of your run. If you're running on tired legs like I seem to be running at the moment. By the way, can we sort out these laces, please? They're just massive again. But yeah, I mean, the Clifton 7 is an update of the Clifton 6. There's not a huge amount of changes. They've mucked about with the front here, and they've changed a few little bits here and there, but it's very much similar. You may notice that. That's probably one of the biggest noticeable changes. But it's very much an update of the 6, which is not a bad thing, because the Clifton series is a great shoe. The Shift from the Endorphin line, so you've got the Pro and the Speed, sort of sits at the bottom and it just eats miles. It's a high stack height, long distance, daily trainer-ish kind of thing. What I like about it, I like the heel count. I like the fact that they've added stability onto the high stack height. I love the upper on this shoe, which is carried over from the other Endorphin shoes. I love the sort of what's the best way to describe it? The easiness at which you can run in this shoe. Although, and this is immediately onto the drawbacks, it does feel clumpy. It does feel like you've got a relatively big shoe. It has gone from being what was a stiffish shoe when I first got it to actually being a little bit more supple, but it doesn't seem to have softened up as much as I thought it would have done yet. So, okay, we'll bear with it. Where the Clifton, apart from it just feeling super lightweight, with a Clifton, you just put it on and you're already expecting the high stack height, and you're already expecting it to feel like a lot of shoe. But with the lightness, it doesn't feel as cumbersome. And despite the stack heights, I mean, this is more, but you know, high stack heights relative to some of the shoes out there, you don't notice it as much. And it just feels like a little bit more easier to work with than the Shift. Now, there's a lot of people who like the Shift, right? So I'm not saying I dislike this shoe, and I'm not saying those people are wrong, because actually this is a good shoe. I prefer my glide rides. If I'm doing a long distance run, I actually prefer my glide rides. But the Clifton, I think, and this shoe sort of come into their own between 10k and half marathon distance. That's where I find myself running in these shoes, and I feel if I was to pick out of both of these, it would be the Clifton. I think this is a wider fit versus the Clifton. This is not as wide as this, but it's wider than some of the Hoka shoes out there. Like, for example, the Rincon 2 is definitely wider than that. It's not as wide as the Clifton Edge, by the way, but it's definitely wider. But it just feels to me like this is more versatile. It's a little bit more usable, and you don't feel like that you're carrying a lot of shoe, which may seem a ridiculous thing to say, but I don't like when I'm out there feeling my shoes too much, if that makes any sense. And I feel with the Saucony, I just feel like I'm a little bit higher, and I can just sense that, and that's what's sort of letting it down for me. And it's a real shame, because it is a good shoe, and that's why I'm not saying this is a bad shoe, people. This may suit you, but for me, in this video, we're comparing the two. I would go with the Clifton 7.